Good evening, friends, and welcome to Routlemania 7. So what you're about to see is a specific Zelda 1 randomizer seed. The players know what's in it. They have had the spoiler log. They are about to embark on a 90-minute chase, a series of attempts to try to get the best time that they can on this seed. And so here we go. We start on Death Mountain. They're going to try to get to the wood sword, which is actually all the way over in Casino Corner. So that is the first obstacle to this. It's kind of like a vanilla speed run, or if you are familiar with other randomized games, you might know of a set seed category or a seed run, as a certain other community I know calls it. This is a seed run for Zelda Randomizer. So the players will be trying to make it to Casino Corner, likely doing a lot of screen scrolls along the way because we don't have a weapon yet. Other things to know about this flag set, there are 5 Triforces required to enter level 9, so we will get to skip some levels along the way. Looks like picking up medium secrets. One thing that we will need to buy is a blue candle, because there are candle blocked levels, but the red candle is in level 8 and it is blocked by the ladder. Alright, OpnoPoint is up to the corner, got a wood sword. The players also have as many resets as they would like within the 90-minute period to try to get the best time that they can. So with swords in hand, jkoper and OpnoPoint are headed to level 4. OpnoPoint got some bombs. jkoper is headed up here into this gel room where the wand is, and now so is OpnoPoint. So they've both got wands. Sigil is now here as well. There's a key in this room with Vires. And yeah, just past the Vire room is the Triforce of 4, so that is not too bad. We will need a couple bombs, in all likelihood, especially to get money, just because of our start location. Death Mountain is full of bomb screens. Now, Sigil's got a wand. The wand is the main available additional form of offense in this seed. So we just talked about level 8 being ladder blocked, I believe. So no red candle, no white sword for these guys. Ladder is a little too slow to get. We're going into level 3, where the ladder actually is. The thing is, you would then have to take it and then go to level 8, and level 8 is big. So, not the fastest option. It looks like Sigil has taken a reset. That's perfectly fine. By the way, I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Smilefires. I've got Camion Renakai working on the tracker this evening, and thank you to Adirondack Rick for helping us get set up. Alright, so it looks like jkoper and OpnoPoint both have enough money for a candle. It's, I think it's 68 rupees in this one. Kingdahl's got a sword. And we're walking through 3. The bow is the floor item in 3. It's going to be near the top of this level, and then we can backtrack to the Triforce. Luckily, don't have to do anything with that room full of blue Lionels. Yeah, the wood sword is in Casino Corner, and so that is the first obstacle to this, is starting on Death Mountain and needing to trek your whole way over to pick up the wood sword. OpnoPoint got the bow, heading back for the Triforce. We've got OpnoPoint picking up the Triforce as Kingdahl and Sigil are now in for looking to get something started. And jkoper with the Triforce out of 3 as Kingdahl gets the Triforce out of 4. Sigil should follow with that level 4 Triforce shortly, but does not get bombs from the Vires and is opting to restart. That looks like it was 65 actually on the candle, that's fine. And so now we'll actually get a look at what the candle can be useful for on this one. We have several candle block levels, including level 9. jkoper also getting the candle from the Forgotten Spot. OpnoPoint is headed over to level 1. And coming from that direction is key because you can pirouette open a door to the right here, I believe. Also, keeping up with tracking this one is a little bit silly, but jkoper does have the bow. Level 1 is where we are going to get our silver arrows. They are the staircase item. And they are in the room that OpnoPoint just cleared. Alright, Sigil has made it back to the wood sword, as OpnoPoint is going to finish out level 1. This one's also not too bad to get to the Triforce. Yeah, it's right here. Now jkoper with the silver arrows room cleared. Got the large secret of 68. Okay, we got OpnoPoint back. So, heading from 1 to level 2. Level 2 has the red ring in it. I did ask players if they had any thoughts about the seed or their approach to it as we go through here. One thought seemed to be that doing this without the red ring could be kind of tough, but that's also something that players could try once they get a run in. If they think that their red ring run is pretty good, they could do more attempts with the red ring to get their time down a little more, or they could try going ringless. So I think Opno just cleared the red ring room. Interesting, so jkoper is not bombing that one wall when he pushes the block in that room, which seemed to be a thing that a couple of the players were trying. Kingdahl goes on this walk, and I think it is to route in an additional secret on his way to level 1. OpnoPoint is into level 6. And yeah, 6 is also not bad. So that is 5 Triforces, and that is OpnoPoint's access to level 9. jkoper now gets the Triforce of 2. Oh, and Sigil takes a bop and is going to restart. Alright, welcome to level 9. So level 9 is not free. Ganon is not particularly difficult to get to. We are doing a 3-heart red ring fight with Wood Sword. Jkoper gets the Triforce out of 6, so that is also his access to level 9. Yeah, so Ganon's next door. Alright, Kingdahl's got silver arrows as OpnoPoint enters the Ganon fight. Just don't want to take a Ganon hug. But this is a nice stun lock. And able to finish him off. So now the problem becomes that we have quite a bit more of 9 to go through. Zelda is in a vertical shoot room. The path that I have seen to get to her involves taking at least one staircase. And there are a couple not very nice combat rooms. jkoper enters the Ganon fight as well, as Kingdahl is on level 2. Yeah, jkoper's other Triforce is the level 2 Triforce. Just gonna walk through all those Gorillas to get into that staircase as jkoper finishes off Ganon. So you take that staircase over to the right side, then we're gonna take another staircase. Sigil gets the Triforce of 4. So after taking that staircase, we're in a kind of L shape. And we'll walk through that to be able to finish this out. By the way, Blue Land Mola's on the way to the end. Alright, that is a run banked for OpnoPoint. 11:45 as a time in the books. Pretty nice. So you can rest your hands for a bit. And then if you like, go back for more attempts to shave off some time. Triforce out of 6 for Kingdahl, so that will be his pathway into level 9. jkoper headed to the finish, about to take that second staircase. I'm going to take a look and see if Kingdahl has an additional timer after we grab jkoper's time here. jkoper banks a 12:50. Alright, so back to it for OpnoPoint. Okay, yes, Kingdahl has a run timer that we can get on screen. Alright, it should update momentarily as Kingdahl works on the Ganon fight. And he's got him down. There we go, it popped in. And so he's at 11:34 about, finishing off Ganon and picking up the Triforce of Power. And yeah, welcome to folks rolling in. This is a routers race, so the players know what is in this seed. They have 90 minutes to bank the best time that they can get on the seed. So we started at about 9:09 Eastern time, so we've been going for about 15 minutes. jkoper and OpnoPoint have finished runs so far. Don't have a place on the screen for PBs this time, but we have OpnoPoint currently in first with an 11:45, jkoper with a 12:50, and the other two looking for their first finish. All right, Sigil's got the blue candle as Kingdahl is taking a staircase, getting closer to finishing level 9. One thing I'm going to try to pay attention to on further runs here is what's differentiating these players. Kingdahl with a 13-13. Also, I see that Zelda has a key for us. That's helpful. The bomb requirements in this seed are not very huge. It is nice to have, I think, at least a pack. So one thing I noticed with the way OpnoPoint is going is he goes into that Vire room first and then leaves and goes out for the wand. So maybe this is count reasons. That would make sense for if you're trying to get a bomb drop. And then, okay, Triforce out of 4. Alright, silver arrows for Sigil. Also, as you might be seeing, the start of the seed, the wood sword is pretty far away, because we start on Death Mountain. We have to go all the way over to Casino Corner to pick that guy up. Need a sword to be able to fight Ganon. Also need a bow and silver arrows. The white sword, not going to be seen in the seed in all likelihood because it's in level 8. Level 8 is 2 screens away from our start screen, but it is ladder blocked, and you would have to go into a level just to get the ladder that is not otherwise required if you want a white sword. So it would be, you're measuring that time difference of picking up the white sword, going to all of that rigmarole versus how long your Ganon fight takes. Thank you, Rick, for updating the stream title. Much appreciated. You can see the players skipping over maps. Yeah, they know what the maps are, because they've routed this. They know exactly what direction they need to go. OpnoPoint heading up for the bow in level 3. The ladder is not that far away from the bow. The issue is then you have to justify going into a large level that you would not otherwise. There's the bow for OpnoPoint. Looks like Sigil might have something going here, as we are about at the 20-minute mark of the chase so far. So they have 70 more minutes to start an attempt. They can finish any attempt they start within the time window. And that very quick level 6 means Sigil is headed to level 9. And yes, they knew the dungeon maps before starting the race in this one, so they have full access to the spoiler log. The spoiler log doesn't tell them everything, so they can also play the seed, get any kind of knowledge that they want about it, and then come here and just try to put in the best attempts they can. Now, the one thing they don't do for this, actually, is they do not watch each other's streams. So, the real test here, even though you know where all the items are, it's your routing, your skills in planning where to go for a seed, that you do without the influence of any others. Alright, we got Sigil on a Ganon fight, trying to get a stun lock. Oh, okay, we're inside Ganon. Sigil is a potion. Okay. That's a great idea to, you know, get a time in. Jkoper takes a death in 3, and so he's back, he's reset. OpnoPoint done in 1. They do not know the current times. So we get them in the booth at the end, we kind of debrief. It's really what happens. Or maybe to clarify what I just said, they do not know each player's current best time. They probably know their own current best time. Some of the players have splits. I tend not to look at them, although we saw on jkoper's timer his one finish is probably behind his PB. Alright, OpnoPoint done in 2, so over to 6. Sigil is working through these couple staircases in 9, made it through the Gurias with 2 hearts. So now, can we avoid blue Lamolas? Wand is pretty nice in here. It's nice to be able to hit some of these enemies from across the room, as well as it's twice as much damage as the wood sword for things that can hit it. And Sigil has made it 1358, touching Zelda. At least it clicked over to 1359, but pretty sure he had already lost control at 1358. So our current standings, we have OpnoPoint leading with an 1145, we have jkoper with 1250, Kingdahl with 1313, and 1358 just put up by Sigil. And we gotta call out that OpnoPoint is going ringless for this one. So, yeah, no ring on the tracker right there. That is... whoo boy. When you don't have a ring, Ganon Hugs deal 4 hearts of damage. So, this is... well, okay, we got a stun lock, this is working. Yeah, that is... so that is sub 10 for Ganon, wow. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, because, like, I'm pretty sure Kingdahl is the only one going on this long walk around the west side. Wonder if that's potentially hurting his time at the moment, or costing him time. The western side of the overworld, that is. Yeah, wow, it's weird to think about that. Like, we get the wood sword, like, sub 90 seconds, but then 10 minutes later the game is over. Okay, OpnoPoint puts up an 11-17. So that shaves off 28 seconds. Something we do see with these sometimes is if a player just decides to call it, like, I'm not going to get a better time, I'll just go with what I have. See if that happens here today. I think just because of the red ring factor, we might see players try to go the whole time, even if they figure they might have a tough time doing it ringless. So something I also want to share with folks is, while this is the finals of this Battle Royale, there is another event starting up. There are a couple events going on right now within the community. We have a tournament announced. So I put the link for that in chat. The 2025 winner Z1R tournament has been announced. It uses a couple new features to the randomizer. A custom Triforce range requirement, so between 5 and 8 Triforces can be required. Another thing which was kind of a requested feature as well is the flags have no true heart shuffle, but the heart and the staircase item can swap places. So, in effect, that means you can't just rush for staircase rooms or rooms that look like they could be push blocks. Your item could be on the floor, but it does control how many items are in a dungeon at the same time. As well, there's also the Triforce Triple Play Season 2 event. There are races every weeknight and also 3 on Saturday afternoons that you can enter, show up to, just race and race time with people to qualify, to try to qualify for the Season 2 tournament. We had the Season 1 tournament at the end of last year, and that recently has gone live on YouTube. Actually, still going live on YouTube at the moment. And I gotta recommend that everybody watches the finals game 1 at least. Like, if you watch no other game from that tournament, you gotta watch game 1 of those finals. Alright, we have Kingdahl on a walk to level 9. So he is already about hitting the 10-minute mark. When I talked to Kingdahl, I don't think he had a sub 13 at the moment. So if he is able to pull out a sub 13, that would be pretty good for him. All right, welcome to the Ganon fight. Okay, Sigil has once again grabbed the safety potion. And it looks like he does that on his way into 3, so makes sense. And yeah, screen scrolls are tough. I definitely don't find them free. It's a 1 frame input. At a 60 FPS game, it's kind of tough. Alright, we got 2 players in level 9 now. As Kingdahl continues to work his way through the lag Guerrilla room. Spending some money, using some silver arrows to take these guys out. Reduce the lag. OpnoPoint heading for level 1. Sigil is going to get the ladder. So that's interesting. I want to see what we're cooking up with the ladder here. Jkoper does take a bop, takes a fireball, trying to get Ganon in a stun lock. But he's just a little slippery. Kingdahl 13-17 on his timer. So that is slower, so that doesn't wipe out his first run. He's still got a 13-13 to work with. Sigil gets the bow. So something I also just noticed, we have a difference in level 9 routing. Because jkoper is just walking out, and I'm pretty sure Kingdahl up an aid on his previous attempt and went through that mugger room. Now, it does prompt jkoper to use all of his bombs on those likes, so maybe that's like the kind of combat investment that, you know, maybe that just makes the room too long for Kingdahl or something in his mind. Alright, OpnoPoint is going ringless again, grabbing the Triforce of 2. So jkoper is about to finish run number 2 with a 12-18. So that is a 32-second improvement for him. Let's see if we can even out some audio here. Alright, OpnoPoint's going for another green tunic run of level 9. As a time check, we are now through 36 minutes of attempts. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss what Sigil is cooking with the ladder. Okay, trying to pin down Ganon. Seems to be a little bit trolly. Oh yeah, these flags are a 5 Triforce requirement to get into level 9. And the levels that they are skipping, there are pretty good reasons for that. Level 5 is raft blocked, so you'd have to go into level 7 for the raft, which is already not a level that they're going into. Level 7 is located at vanilla level 3, so it is quite far away. And fastest time is currently held by OpnoPoint with 11:17. Alright, Sigil's 3 level 2 got a ring. Headed over to level 6 for his 5th Triforce. Kingdahl picks up the bow in 3. Alright, and we're gonna see Sigil head to level 9, and I'm wondering if this ladder is gonna enable some kind of a different path through 9. The ladder is not strictly required to beat the seed, it's just, I believe, 2 screens away from the bow in level 3. Nice smooth block clip in the turnstile room. There's a fair bit of tricks that kind of just look casual because like they've had a lot of time to spend with this seed, and they're good at block clips and screen scrolls and stuff. You don't get to the finals for free. All right, welcome to the Ganon fight for Sigil. So I guess now what I should be paying attention to is how much money Kingdahl ends the seed with. Yeah, I'm guessing at this point I have missed what the ladder is for. There, I dropped the current PVs in the chat for you folks. Oh my goodness, Sigil makes it through the land mows. And he's gonna finish with what looks like a 13:19. So that improves his time by 39 seconds. Yeah, we got Kingdahl going for the red ring again. He did mention probably was not going to be something that he gets away from in this one. So yeah, it totally makes sense to just stick with it. But yeah, he's walking around with 75 rupees at the moment. So this is a flag set created by Kingdahl. It's an event run by him as well. It does have rupees effect speed set to 50/50, and it did not roll on, unfortunately for him. Blue candle pickup for OpnoPoint on his way out of level 3. Kingdahl is headed to level 9. Coming in here sub 10. Going upward on the turnstile clip. Is this like permadeath to a degree, where if you die, you start over until somebody fully makes it? Well, the thing about dying is it's slow. So, yeah, if you see somebody die, they're most likely resetting because it doesn't save them any time to then pick back up at the start of the dungeon or the start of the overworld. So maybe in a sense, sure, like you just restart your run. I think rupee speed could save some time here. The thing is that the one large secret that Kingdahl is getting is kind of inconveniently placed. Oh, so he might be getting this money just so he can use arrows here. Because jkoper is bombing through that like room. And Kingdahl has what looks like 6 bombs to me, so he could do something similar, but just not what he's doing on this run. And arrows helps clear out a couple of these guys as well. All right, we have a 12-12 finish from Kingdahl. That is pretty nice. So that is another minute savings. That is his current PB, as far as I'm aware, even in practice. Alright, I know we're having a little bit of freezing, but OpnoPoint stream seems a little more stuck than the others. Let's see if there's something I can do about that. So OpnoPoint is in the Red Guerrilla room around to the 10:30 mark. Yeah, just as I say that, it's the frame that the restream machine has decided to show us until it catches up. Since you missed the start, how badly did everybody facepalm when they saw a Zelda in a vertical shoe room? Well, yeah, it's not something that the spoiler log tells you, so yeah, I really wonder. Okay, now we have Kingdahl stopped, but I can confirm he is working on another attempt. So let's get him back. OpnoPoint as an 11:14 on the screen. Oh, I did nothing and Kingdahl's back. Okay, that works. Yeah, it is a 3-second savings for OpnoPoint on his last run there. jkoper does not get a bomb from the virus, so he's going to reset. Sigil does not get a bomb from the virus. Yeah, that's the idea, good guys. So there's a 90-minute window where they can start attempts. They can keep whatever is their last attempt they start in the 90 minutes and finish it out. But yeah, best time they get during the time wins. They can adjust how they route on the fly if they want. So one change that we've seen OpnoPoint make over the course of the run is he previously had the red ring routed in, and he has given up on that, and he has been trying red ringless runs, and that has shaved off some time for him. Thanks again, Camion, for switching the audio. Yeah, we're starting to get some freezes. I'm trying to address that by turning down the quality, so it'll take a second for the crops to update. Oh yeah, to be clear, SerUX, it's actually a 90-minute chase for this one, so we started around 9:09 Eastern, and it's 10:03 now, so they have a little over half an hour in which to start a new attempt. Alright, wand for Sigil, and I can see he's got bombs this time, so that's good. Let's see if jkoper can get some bombs to get started. Yep, sure can. It is 60 for other weeks of this event, but kind of the thought to switch to 90 is also like, it's the finals, let's put on a good show. I can try some things with your routing during the time. And I think this is a slightly harder set of flags compared to the other weeks as well. It combines a couple of the things that they had been racing throughout the weeks. Alright, we've got most folks trying to get a run going, but Kingdahl is on his way to the large secret. Had trouble burning the spot, but then over to level 1. There is also 1 week that they do in this event, which is instead of having as much practice time as they did for this seed, they do a live router thing. So instead of looking at the spoiler log as soon as the seed is rolled, you essentially set out like a 2-hour block for yourself, and that is your time to do any strategizing you want, read the spoiler log, look through the seed, and then get your attempts in. So it's really a grab bag of interesting things to try out, different approaches, different flags. I believe there's a swordless week as well. Oh no! Lionel got Sigil. And we're getting some freezes again, but Sigil is gone. Oh, and then OpnoPoint gets Lionel'd at an upward in 3. Got hit by 2 different Lionel swords there. So that ends his run. jkoper playing it careful, makes it into the bow room. And now here is maybe where like the grind for attempts starts to set in, because like in this 4 we want to get bombs, we want to get the wand. We've seen sometimes where the bombs don't drop for us. If you think your screen scrolls are being distinctly non-crisp in a run, you can just hit that reset button. Maybe if your candle fire or bomb fails to open the overworld spot. Probably a decent reset point as well. So something I wasn't necessarily paying attention to before is level 3 is apparently where we get all the keys that we need. So there may be a slight time savings to up an A versus not up an A after you get your keys by going down. Oh, well, we also spend all the keys, so you need those keys to get what you need in here. That makes sense. That Wallmaster did not seem want to readily appear for Sigil, but he does have the bow now. Oh, seems like a reset for Sigil. Yeah, skipping the ladder makes sense. I just don't... I can't really tell what it actually gets you in this seed, because he's not taking it to go into 8, which has ladder blocks that we know of. So we're mostly in a state of reset, but Kingdahl's got a run going as he heads over to his large secret and level 1. Or not. Didn't get that screen scroll off, maybe felt a little bit too slow for him. Alright, Bombs Wand and a Triforce for OpnoPoint. See what we can turn it into. As a time check, we've got 25 more minutes to start an attempt. Alright, no bombs for Sigil, so back to the start again. OpnoPoint collects the bow. Kingdahl is on his way to do the same after he picks up additional keys. Oh no! Just took a few too many hits and didn't get that fairy in time. That would have saved him. Oh, interesting. So, OpnoPoint's choice of Blue Candle Shop is next to Spectacle Rock, as opposed to Forgotten Spot. OpnoPoint takes that candle to level 1. Seeing jkoper do 2 screen scrolls, you can really bust out a lot of screen scrolls on your way over to this wood sword. With silver arrows in hand, Opno's just gonna fire 2 of them at those Zols and collect the level 1 Triforce. jkoper got Wizro beamed, so that's another reset for him. OpnoPoint taking the large secret after 1, bringing it to 2. Triforce acquired into. I'm kind of curious if you meant to pick up that key. I think it was a key anyway. But that's the Triforce out of 6, so he will be headed to level 9. It looks like Sigil is walking it to the wood sword. Perfectly fine. Your equipment can affect how you screen scroll. Yeah, OpnoPoint has a fair bit of money to spend in here, so I think this is just arrow money. Oh, that's a death for Opno. That's not just getting stuck on the Ganon fight, that is going to be a reset. So that can be one of the challenges of trying to forgo the red ring. Getting into the Ganon fight at 929 is pretty hot pace. Another reset for Opno, but that's a-okay. Again, big props to Camion, who I told him, like, you don't even really need to worry about tracking for this one, because, like, the resets are going to be fast and furious. This jkoper doesn't get a bomb in 4. So, like, really what we did for a couple previous ones of these was we just mark off the items that they're going to get in their typical runs and call it good. And we also don't really have a button to, like, dump out the tracker and do it that way, so he is unclicking each item every time. Oh, Sigil grabbing the ladder. Yeah, that's what I thought when I first did one of these. Like, yeah, let's unclick all the buttons, it'll be great. Alright, Kingdahl with Triforce out of 1. Probably hoping to get a run in here just because he had a couple pretty long attempts that kind of ended around this area. Now the question is there an alt route for the ring in 2? Probably not realistically. The map of 2, the room above the ring is empty. So if you want to make it back to the Triforce, it's really like the path that they are taking is the exact 3 rooms that you want to take to go back there. But yeah, we'll see. I have kind of an annotated dungeon map here. Well, perhaps saying we would see something was a little optimistic on my part. Okay, we got movement on Sigil's screen again. So he's got silver arrows and the Triforce of 1. jkoper sword beaming the wall as Vyres don't give him bombs again. Alright, so Sigil is taking the path that I think you would take for... Well, yeah, okay. This is, it is different. Because he did bomb out of the Triforce room as opposed to going down and bombing left. Alright, so now Sigil is prepared to go to level 9. And now the bombs are stranded past the mode for jkoper. That is so unfortunate. Alright, this is a good stun lock for Sigil. Sigil looking for his third completed run, and I think this could PB. Alright, jkoper indicates that he is done, so we will get him into the booth. We'll be wrapping up shortly here as well. We have about 6 minutes left to start an attempt. As Sigil is finishing off the walk to Princess Zelda, just gotta make it through these guys with half a heart. And they stayed out of the way, very nice of them. And 1304 it looked like for Sigil. Welcome to the booth, jkoper.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I feel fairly good about my route and my run. Like maybe I could have done something without Red Ring, but the end game was very difficult, so I don't think it was worth an attempt without that, so... yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Kingdahl put up something and, beat me by 10 or 20 seconds, because he usually does, but... I don't know. I don't see any times on the screen, so I don't know what everyone got. Other than Sigil just finished a run that was, much worse than mine.
Yeah, we currently have Kingdahl's best run at a 12-12.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he is doing most of the same thing. I did talk to him a little bit before the chase, and he indicated he's probably not going to try for anything red ringless, so he's just been mostly sticking to his strat. He does something where he does like a screen scroll and does a walk around the western half of the overworld. He picks up a large secret before he goes into 1, which I didn't see anybody else doing. It seemed like it might take a little longer.
I might have to watch that.
But our current leader is actually OpnoPoint, who's banked in 11-14, and that is red ringless.
Oh wow, that is impressive. Yeah, I couldn't have imagined that skipping red ring would save that much time.
Yeah, a couple other things I noticed he's doing, and this one probably isn't major. He's going to the candle shop that is next to Spectacle Rock, whereas I think most everybody else is scrolling over to Forgotten Spot. And so actually,
yeah,
right,
I looked at that. I think that's 3 screens away. So, whereas the other one is 2 screens away, but I don't know. That one also doesn't require a bomb too, so I don't know. It's probably very close.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So yeah, I did notice you using up your bombs on the likes and 9. It seems like most of the other guys are going for just using arrow money for that. So something that Opno just did when he came out of 1 is picked up the same large secret that Kingdahl has been going for. It's just Kingdahl's been getting it before he goes into 1, because I guess he'd rather use arrows in 1 as well.
Oh, I don't know. That's very, very marginal as well. So, yeah, I'm impressed by Opno doing it without a red ring. The Ganon fight was terrible, and then, you know, there's lots of stuff after that, like the likes, and then the just getting through that Gorilla spiral staircase is, you know, enough.
Yeah, the Korea room is a lot for sure. Yeah, and the landmos, we've seen a run end to landmos. I think we've seen a run end on Opno's screen to Ganon as well.
Yeah, I mean, pretty easy to end the run to Ganon. Kingdahl just... Oh, I see what he's doing. Just coming back through and then getting the key on the way back. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, something Sigil has been trying, which maybe factors into his time a little bit, is he has actually been picking up the ladder, which allows for a slightly different route in level 2.
Yeah, it's definitely a consideration, especially without the red ring, because, you know, with the route to get the red ring into, going the ladder way only saves the text from the hint too. And then yeah, if you're not getting the red ring, then you can walk straight down to the Triforce, so it saves a few rooms that way.
Yeah, the one thing is he has been getting the ring. Like, his couple of attempts that have gotten that far have really been max safeties. He also goes and picks up a red potion, which,
Yeah.
like, yeah, totally valid to get a run in.
All right. Anyway, I gotta get going because I want to get somewhere before it closes. But thanks for putting this on, and you know, send my congrats to Opno in particular, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for playing. Congrats on making it to the finals, and thanks for your great run and hanging out here. Got folks calling it out in the chat that Opno entered Ganon at 9 minutes 12. That is it's pretty good. And yeah, I've put out the message for no more resets, so... They can keep the run they have now. If it's not going well, they can fully free to abandon it and just come hop in the booth. Alright. We've got Sigil with Candle Money picking up the potion. the end of the chase can also be an exciting time. So we kind of get to watch these finish in order, and it's not necessarily like the order that they finish in the places. So like Kingdahl's got the furthest along run. We get to see him finish, then maybe one of the others. Yeah, jkoper stopped a little bit early. I think part of it is he got a run that he felt was, maximizes the extent of his routing. And it wasn't all that early. It was like 7-8 minutes before the end of the time. Which, fair enough. As he said, he's trying to get somewhere before it closes. He did have some attempts where he wasn't getting bombs in this level 4. So, hard to get another run going if you're losing time to that. Yeah, the format of this one, they had 90 minutes to start an attempt on this seed. So that 90 minutes has now expired, and so the run that they started before that, they can now finish out. They're fully spoiled on the seed and its contents. They can make whatever they believe is the fastest route. Alright, Kingdahl headed into level 6 as Sigil is headed over to the bow. This is quite the time difference as OpnoPoint is already through the key gauntlet in 3 as well, and they have about a minute and a half between them. Alright, Kingdahl is headed to level 9. Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about with jkoper, is that like the ladder does let you get the Triforce in 2 faster. It's just if you're also picking up the red ring, it ends up not being a huge savings. Oh no, and Kingdahl takes a Ganon death, so that is going to be the end of his run. Sigil seems to be done as well. OpnoPoint seems to still be running, but let's see if we can get him unfrozen. And we welcome to the booth Sigil. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to get OpnoPoint back on screen because he's finishing up his last run. Now, we did not specifically ask jkoper about the Zelda shoot room because it kind of is what it is. But yeah, welcome to the booth, Sigil. How you feeling about your runs?
I'm just glad I put into practice for the left to right screen scroll. That's why I mostly worked on with this. Because that's my weakest part of my game.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then like you have to go so long with the sword as well. So like if you're using the sword to help set you up, you got to go without that.
Yeah. But I figured I did what I figured I would do. How did the other people do?
Okay, so we had your best time at a 13:04. We have the leader is OpnoPoint with an 11:14. It looks like he is also done at this point. So some of the things that happened, OpnoPoint's run is without a red ring, his fastest time.
Yeah, I figured that's like 20 seconds about. 25, 30.
It's a decent chunk compared to like some of the other things that you can do in here. We got OpnoPoint in the booth. We got Kingdahl in the waiting room. Who's probably working out audio.
GG's Opno.
Yeah, GG's Sigil. I have no idea what the others times are.
So with everybody done, I have dropped the results in the channel we were using and also in here.
Oh wow.
We have OpnoPoint in first place with 11:14, Kingdahl in second with 12:12, jkoper in third with 12:18, and Sigil 13:04. So yeah, most people had like something slightly different that they were doing. I also want to get Kingdahl in here in case he's waiting for us or something.
Huh, I did not expect my last time to be nearly a minute faster than everybody else.
Yeah, you were the only person really trying runs without the red ring, I think. And so yeah, some of that time savings you get. I think you also had the fastest run with a ring.
Yeah, I had an 11:45 on my first run with the red ring, and then I decided to not pick up the red ring. Then did a 11:14, I did an 11:17, and then an 11:14. Pretty sure I could have done sub 11, but yeah.
Yeah, so there's a sense of the time difference right there is like you shaved off half a minute with not picking that up.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. So those turnstile clip I did with the buffering with a silver arrow, that was the smoothest block clips I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's some good looking turnstile clips. Something Sigil was doing, you were getting the ladder. Was that just for the Triforce in 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I need to pick up the bombs anyway. On my route.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it is kind of a dual purpose thing.
Yes. Because as soon as I get the candle, I'm out of bombs. And at the forgotten spot.
Alright.
Yeah. And then my first routes I had, I was picking up the candle at the forgotten spot, but that screen is just pretty bad. I didn't like it. So I was using the Kingdahl shop next to vanilla level 9 instead.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you were the only one going to that open shop, and I was kind of curious about that. But yeah, just the screen being nicer makes sense for that as well.
Yeah, the only bad thing about going there is the screen right next to level 4? 3. Right next to level 3 is a Paul's voice screen that tends to like scroll in your face if you're not fast enough.
We also welcome to the booth Kingdahl. Hello?
GG.
GG.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the results, you've made it to second place.
Yeah, I saw that 11, a low 11. That's crazy. Because
Yeah.
I was not letting go of the red ring. I think a 12-12 with the ring was way better than I expected from myself.
Yeah, and all the practice runs I did before this, I had always picked up the red ring. It was the first time I decided not to pick up the red ring.
I mean, I'm not good at Ganon, and then like after Ganon, that was like the worry. If I can kill Ganon without the ring, but what do I do with the likes and the spiral and the
613 HP likewise in a B motion.
Yeah. And by the way, Kingdahl, thank you for rolling the worst start position for me.
I mean, when I played this Seeders first, I was hoping that please like let there be a way to get a bomb so we can get like the wand before the wood, but
Yeah.
nothing worked. Oh, it's crazy.
The only thing you could have done was get the secrets super far away, which when you're better off just go and grab the sword.
Yeah, there was no other way. There wasn't even a money-making game. There was nothing opened. It was shitty secrets and expensive candle and a ladder-blocked red candle. I was hoping that the ladder would be required also the first time I played, because it would have definitely made the seed more playable if 8 was like in play. But
yeah,
but it wasn't. So and. I don't know if anyone here went to 7, but I never went to 5, but I went to 7 just to see how, and it was bad.
I focused everything in the scene, just have all the info, but yeah, 7 was very bad. Thankfully the Wrath didn't have to go to 5, because it was Wrath Watch, and that Wrath was super deep in 7.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, the first time I was in 6, I was looking for the Triforce. I have only used the spoiler log, so it was a bit of an adventure in there. And I'm like, oh, it's right here. It's like 10 seconds. Okay, so the boring thing about this seed is like there's no choice at all about the levels. There's no choice, and the ordering is pretty much no choice either.
Yeah, level 8 is bad. Level 7 is very bad. Level 5 is impossible without doing level 7 first. Basically left with 5 other dungeons. And good luck.
Did you also skip the wand?
I did not skip the wand.
I was trying to skip it, but it seemed like whenever I did it, just slowed me down too much.
It just bites you at your behind if you skip it. I felt like.
Yeah, it becomes sneaky. You know, you have the beam like always, and over like 10 minutes, it bleeds away the time.
Yeah. And I just want the wand just in case of the like room.
Oh yeah, people are doing very different stuff for the like room in 9. Saw people just like sinking arrows into them. Jkoper used all of his bombs on one of his runs. He just had 6 bombs and he unloaded all of them.
Yeah, I should have done that in the one runs. I had a bunch of bombs that I didn't need. I needed 1 bomb from level 9 and that's it.
Yeah, that's why I picked up that extra big secret there.
Yeah, sounds exactly why I grabbed the big secret south at level 1. Have way more arrows to shoot at stuff.
Because I was always expecting to be like a half a heart after Ganon, and I tried the other route to Zelda, and it was a bit slower, but the one where you paid the keys and took the spiral, and it was it was almost, but it was definitely slower.
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, it seemed a little bit slower because of the up and A as well.
Pay 2 keys or you get Zombie Link. I guess if you get a 4th heart somewhere. There's a taken you get on the start screen, so you could grab that heart. Probably still slower though.
I mean, the keys wasn't really bad since we didn't have the ladder. You had to clear that room in 2 for an extra key, and then there was a key on the floor in 9. So the key wasn't the problem. It was probably like the spiral and all the extra walking, but it was close. It was close. The likes skipping the likes was very enticing.
Sadly, there was either skip the either kill the likes or go through the mugger. Yeah, it was like quite the Zelda room.
Yeah, when I first saw it in the practice run, I was just like, okay then. Thank you, game.
That path is wild.
Yeah, especially when I had mapped it with the spoiler log, but when I played it, it was like, yeah, there's Zelda room. Oh wait, it's a vertical shoot? Oh boy, it's gonna be spicy on the stream.
Yeah, it was definitely a 9 to remember. Luckily, we didn't play it blind, because that would have been like that could have been trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, my run that got my best time, I almost died to the landmines and before Zelda. It was on 1.5 heart and it came right for me. Thankfully I was quick enough to candle boost my way through.
So how much did you save on that level 2 split? Because I guess
I don't
was it like 45 seconds?
I don't have different splits for my levels. I just have one timer and that's it.
I'm guessing 40 seconds maybe. On that.
Yeah. Saves having to kill 8 kisses, 4 HP. That's too bad when you have silver arrows and Lionels after that.
Yeah, I was dying in this seed with the ring though. For me, it really wasn't an option. But
yeah, near the end, I had a run that could have beaten my best time, but died to the manhandlers north of Ganon.
well, you're definitely the deserving champion, and
Yes.
for the Routlemania 7, there was really no match. You won every race and crushed it in most of them. So, congratulations for winning.
Congrats, Opno.
Thank you. That was very fun.
Yeah, as you said at one point, you're very new to the Battle Royale scene, but you're just cleaning up. You got a lot of points to be a contender for the next Ultima.
The first one I did was the BR Zipoldi, which was quite Battle Royale to start with.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I think that's how I started my battle royales also when I first started Opno.
I did manage to win it. I can win it too. Because,
Alright, I think we can start to close things out. If you like what you saw here, I'm sure Kingdahl will be preparing a Rattlemania 8 at some point. Or some kind of Routers edition, because there's some folks who really come out for these. I know I enjoy helping out with them. I've also put in the chat, we have a 2025 winter tournament that has signups open right now. So you can come and join us for that. That is set to start next month. There's another ongoing event, the Triforce Triple Play Season 2. So there are nightly races, there are weekend Saturday afternoon races that you can join and improve in the standings and try to qualify for that tournament, which I believe is slated for some time in April. A lot going on in the Z1R community. There's of course different battle royales like this one that you can come join as well, and we have our weekly races Sunday nights at 9:30 and the TTP weeklies at Thursday nights at 10 p.m. So yeah, lots going on. Players, anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, thanks for doing the restream and unfortunately doing it by yourself. But I'm sure it's a great watch, and it was probably live.
Well, I did have Camion Renakai's help with the tracking, and he was having fun unclicking the buttons every time you guys reset, even though I told him he didn't have to.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, yep. Thank you to everybody for running. A great one to call. And even if the seed didn't lend itself to too many strats, we did see you try some things in any case. And plenty to sign up for. Thank you to everybody in chat for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you in future Zelda 1 randomizer things. Have a great night.
You too.